हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। पिछले हमारे लेक्चर में हमने देखा था कि तनावे सुगेनो डायग्राम जो है वो D2 और D7 ऑक्टेडल कॉम्प्लेक्स के लिए किस तरीके से बनता है. That and we had taken the simplest form of TS diagram in that case. Today we will discuss some few more example of TS diagram. So today we will talk about the TS diagram for D3 D8 octahedral high spin complex and D7 D2 tetrahedral complex. As we already know, like octahedral and tetrahedral complexes are related to each other. And one more thing, in D3 and D8 only HS means high spin complex are possible because there won't be any kind of but this is the maximum multiplicity it is showing. So this type of complex will show only HS kind of diagram. And similarly TD means tetrahedral is also high spin complexes, and we know that the relation between the two is like this is if D octahedral is if there is n number of electron in octahedral complex, then the same diagram will be given for 10 minus n tetrahedral complexes. For that reason, if this is D3 and D7, and if for D8 D2 tetrahedral complex will show the same TS diagram. So for D3 condition, we take example of D3 condition to understand it in a simple way, and it will be easy to understand. So for D3 condition, this will be the configuration is like this: +2 +1 0 -1 -2. So electrons are filled in. First they will be in T2G, the ground state. So in this condition, this is given +2 +1 0 -1 -2. So now the overall L value will come as 3, and for 3 L value, the term given is F. And since there is 3 n per electron, so for the multiplicity we can calculate by the formula 2s plus 1. So from that, if for 1 electron it is half, then for 3 it will be 3/2. So by taking that formula, the multiplicity will come as 4f. So 4f is the ground state term, and another ground state term possible is 4p. So the two terms are given here on the y-axis, and so these two terms are this 4f. As we already know from the earlier diagram, the lowest energy term is written at 0. So 4f will be written at 0 value. In this side we take E upon B, and this side we take delta upon B. B is the Raka parameter and E is the energy. So 4f has the lowest energy, it will be written at the 0 value, and then we will write 4p, since 4p has more energy as compared to 4f. Now we already know from the splitting pattern that 4f will have 3 excited states, that is 4A2G, 4A2G, 4T2G and 4T1G. Okay, and so these 3 states are given here: 4A2G, 4T2G and 4A1G. We already know from the Orgel diagram also, this might be clear in your mind, like in earlier case when we were seeing the D2 diagram, it was inverse. Like here we were writing 4A1G, then we were writing 4A2G, and then we were writing 4A2G. And here it will have, since we know like D3 will have just inverse of D2 diagram, so here we will find A2G this side, and then T2G, and then A1G. So T1G, sorry. So this, like this, we will the 3 energy diagram we are having. And from the earlier video, this is also being clear to your mind. Like in TS diagram, we write on the x-axis the lowest excited energy term. So the lowest excited energy term here is 4A2GF. So this will F for the ground state F. Okay, the 4A2G we will write on the x-axis. This will form the x-axis. And the rest two terms are 4A2G and 4T1G. And for P, the excited energy term is just one, that is 4T1G. So one more thing I want to discuss by this diagram. Like in the earlier diagram, there was the P was crossing A2G. In the earlier diagram when we were drawing it for D2 condition, the line of P was the excited state term of this T1G, that was crossing the excited state term of F, that was A2G. Okay, here but here the excited state term, the highest energy excited state term for F is 4T1G, and here The excited state term for P is for T1G. So these two terms will never cross each other. They will just go parallel to each other because there is a no crossing rule. Same energy term will never cross each other. They will be just parallel to each other. For this reason, the T1G of P will never cross the T1G of F. So this we can understand by seeing this diagram. And just like the previous diagram, we have calculated the amount of Raka parameter B and delta O, like that is splitting energy, by the help of the spectral line. So the same things we can do in this diagram also. So suppose there is in this area of the the weak field ligands will be there, and as we move towards the right hand side, the splitting power or the strength of ligand will get enhanced. So this side will get weak field ligand. So here cobalt Cl4 2 minus kind of complex will find here. There is a tetragonal complex of CO2 plus, and similarly as we move this side, nickel 2 plus and then chromium 3 plus complex will get this side. And suppose for this complex we are seeing the excitation pattern. So the first due to the 4F, the excitation will take place from E1 to E2. So E1 is A2G and E2 is here T2G, 4T2G. So it will first will be the A2G to T2G, and second will be from 4A2G to 4T1G. So there will be two spectral lines which can be obtained, and by the ratio of the spectral line we can get the value of E upon B. So from that we can get we will already knowing about E means energy of the spectral line. Any of the spectral line we can select, and from that line we can get a ratio E upon B, and from that since we already know the value of E for that line and we are getting the ratio here, so we can find the value of B as we did earlier, and with the help of B we can find the value of delta O for certain spectral line. So like that we can calculate the value of delta O and B with the help of these TS diagram. Then the next condition we will see, that is for D7 octahedral complex. So D7 octahedral complexes can form high spin as well as low spin complexes. So here this diagram will become a bit complex. D7 we have already discussed with when we were discussing the D2 diagram in our previous lecture, but in that case we were considering only high spin complexes, so it was quite similar to the D2 condition. But here we will consider it for the low spin complex, so it will become somewhat complex. So here for D7 condition, one more thing is like in this diagram we will see the spin crossover, like the spin will get changed. Here we will find that, and this spin crossover diagram we will find only in the case of D4, D5, D6 and D7 configuration, because up to D1, D2, D3 and D8, D9 there won't be any change in the spin, but in the condition of D4, D5, D6 and D7 there will be change in the spin with the in the presence of a weak or strong, in the presence of a strong ligand there may be change in the spin of the electrons inside the d orbital. That's why we will get here spin crossover kind of pattern. So first we discuss it for simple conditions. So D7 will have, D7 configuration will have these ground state term, that is 4F, 4P, 2G, 2F. So initially when we'll this area we will find high spin complex which will be generated by weak ligand, and by this 30 point we will this side of the diagram we will find high spin low spin complex which will be resultant of strong ligands. So this side when ligands power is weak, that time we will see the diagram where the 4F and 4P ground state will have the major role, whereas 2G will not have a major role. It will be not considered here. So it is given in by the dotted lines, whereas 4F and 4P ground state terms are shown by solid lines. So as we already know, for 4F term the ground state terms are as here it is written as A2G, T2G and T1G. So here again it will be, but here the lowest energy term will be T1G, then T2G, and then A2G. Okay, this is already clear from the oracle diagram. So T1G from the 3 excited state terms are there, 4 T1G, 4 T2G, and 4 A2G. So 4 T1G is the lowest energy term, so it will form the x-axis up to this point. Then next is 4 T2G, and next is 4 E2G. So these three lines are there, and in addition to this, the same multiplicity term is 4F. So 4F is also having one excited state term, that is 4 T1G. So 4 T1G is also given here. So these total 4 lines are there, out of which one is forming the base of the diagram or x-axis of the diagram. So we have, in addition to this, we have 3 excited energy levels. So if the excitation of energy will take place, so in the spectral line we will get, in the spectrum we will get 3 spectral lines due to the transition between here 4 T1G to 4 T2G, and then 4 T1G to 4 T2G, and then 4 T1G to 4 A2G, and finally 4 T1G to 4 T1G of P. So there are 3 spectral lines we can find here in the TS diagram of D7 for the high spin kind of complexes. But once the power of the ligand is more than this energy level, then this side, if the ligand is more powerful, then we will find the spin crossover and we will find the low spin type of complexes. So in the case of low spin kind of complexes, these 4F and 4P terms will become will not be useful. In that case, this 2G term will become important. So the 2G splits into 4 parts, that is 2EG, then 2T1G, 2T2G, and 2A1G. It has 4 excited energy terms. So out of those 4 terms, the 2EG has the lowest energy. So now for the rest of the part, this 2EG will form the x-axis. It will be the it will be having lowest energy, so it will form the x-axis, and the remaining terms like 2T1G, 2T2G, and 2A1G will be given above this. And for the spectral line, the transition will take place from 2E2G to 2T1G, then 2EG to 2T1G, 2EG to 2T2G, and 2EG to 2A1G. So this the pattern of transition will be like this. It will be between lowest ground state term, lowest excited energy term of 2G to the comparatively higher excited state term of 2G. So like this, the excitation pattern will take place. So such a spectral line we will find due to the 7 low spin complexes. So we will find this kind of electronic excitation. So this we have find for D7 and D7 octahedral of low spin. And for the spin crossover, we have to remember certain things, like this spin crossover take place only in octahedral complex. This will not take place in tetrahedral complex, because tetrahedral complex are always high spin. Then second thing is spin crossover takes place for only D4, D5, D6 and D7 kind of configuration, and won't be taking place in other configuration. And next thing is if ligand are of high energy, for that it will be obtained, or ligand should be in the middle of the series. Like in the spectrochemical series, the ligand are having position from middle to higher. That will show this kind of spin crossover phenomena. And if we have mixed field ligands, like if we have more than 2 type of ligand, then there should be one ligand which is having higher field strength. In that condition, then only the spin crossover will take place. Like if we have the ligands like water and phenanthroline, so water is the weak field ligand, but phenanthroline is a strong field ligand. So in that case, the spin crossover is possible. And next thing is this kind of phenomena is found in the complex of iron, cobalt, etc. And it will have effect of under the influence of magnetic field, or if we increase the temperature or enhance the pressure, in that case also the pairing of electrons in d orbital can be affected, and in that case the spin crossover can take place. So under these conditions we can find the such kind of phenomena where the spin crossover will take place. So by this we hope like the TS diagram will be even more clear in your mind. So thank you so much.